Howdy folks, Bravo here, standing in a beautiful day in Oklahoma, somehow with no wind, so we're trying to take advantage of that. Today we're going to talk about my rear door here, the design around it, why I did it, how I did it, and talk about some lessons learned. So let's just jump into it. So, first thing you can see is that I ended up shortening the width of it and making it a Dutch door. Uh, so I have design reasons for that. If you've seen my other videos, you might already know what's coming. But yeah, it's a Dutch door. So the top door opens up here. The bottom door, currently it's pretty tight to close, but that's good because it'll adjust over time. I've got this temporary piece of wood here just for a temporary seal. It's definitely not a part of the overall design. But while we're at it, this height here is where the internal frame for the bed is going to be. So as you're laying in bed, you'll be able to pop this door open and get some airflow through the bus through its entirety, but also some airflow right next to the bed. Um, Under here would be the garage, what Skoolies call it, just storage area. And then this design here for this longer piece of wood here really came from the interior design of the school bus, where there'll be a wall here that extends out the length of the bed to separate the shower and composting toilet from the bed. But also, this AC unit here is it sticks out towards the inside, and the AC lines are going to run up directly into the wall there where it says school bus, and inside to the interior AC unit, which is just a couple feet away from it. So giving myself that room so the AC unit isn't sticking out on the driver's side, but also pairing up nicely with that interior wall, giving me more width inside for the shower and crapper. um, Additionally, having access to the composting bucket, so rather than carry poopy water or poopy compost dirt through the interior of the school bus, I'll be able to reach in, pull the bucket out, and deposit that material, refill it, whatever, put it back in without having too much nastiness. Even if I spill it, the, the fallout will be lessened. um, Moving on to the some of the complexities here is nothing on your school bus is going to be square. Okay, everything has a slight curve to it. My school bus is pretty much square till about here, and then it starts to curve inwards. So if I close these doors, if I had them completely closed, it's very obviously. Hopefully, I can have a picture of that. But this top door tilts slightly inward, and this bottom door pretty much flat, but it's got a slight tilt outwards. And your rear schoolie door, if you just take a look at it, if you already have a school bus, or maybe you just go take a look at somebody else's school bus, you open that door up, the hinges, I still have one attached there. The other hinges here, they're made with a taper. So it'll open up square, but it's actually bent. So it makes it hard to design around. um, so keep that in mind. It also makes sealing your door a little hectic, but I do have sealer around here. The frame of the bed will also act as a seal, top and bottom for this door here. So there's a lot of complexities that make my first door ever making quite difficult. I'm glad I chose this one. um, Jumping back to the design of the door, this is purely aesthetic. Uh, I I found a guy online that made one like this, and I was like, oh, that looks really good, so I'm going to do it. So um, this is a clearance aisle butcher block that was 160 something, 165 by 32, or I can't remember the exact width and height, but it was basically the width of the door and the height. I just needed to cut it in two key places and size it up. And then I took um, 1.25 inch angle iron and welded the corners together, grinded it down, and tried to paint it. I need to go back over and repaint it and uh, put like some kind of sealer over the top or a clear coat or something to help protect it. But this is purely for looks, and then maybe a little bit of protection for the door as time goes on. You maybe bump into it. You can always repaint the metal, but you can't always put wood back if you bump into it hard enough. And then what you don't see are these guys right here. These are self-tapping wood screws. Um, they'll go around the trim here to hold the trim on, but as you can see, it kind of holds itself on with very little screws. So this is just a visual thing where you got like the orange, black, and silver. These are galvanized, I believe. Or no, they're stainless. I went with stainless because it's going to last longer and not have that white dust look to it. But this is purely visuals. Like, go with whatever design you want to make. Speaking of that, in order to make these doors fit, I had to recede the hinge. Maybe I can move it 1 second. Yeah, I had to recede the hinge to make it flush with the wood. Also cut that out of the angle iron piece here. And as you can see, if I move the sealant back, it's just screwed all the way through the square tubing frame of the bus here, and using lock washer or lock nuts and washers for these countersunk screw heads. These are just the screws that come with the hinges. They're wood tapping screws. I pre-drilled those, and as you can see, I still have them temporarily mounted. I have to put the rest in, but I was still kind of sizing it up. I don't want to wear those screws down too much. Let's go inside and try to take a look at the interior design for this tall, skinny piece, and I think that'll cover most of it. One additional piece on the outside here is I took a 2 inch by inch and a half angle iron piece and put it across the top and mounted that to the frame of the bus around the door, just like I did the hinges, and then coated that in rhino liner basically. And that's a little bit of a weather proofing where it's got like a tiny little roof over the crack of the door so water doesn't directly penetrate into the bus. And I'm hoping to have um, a full shelf over the top for storage, but that's another video for the frame around the AC unit if you're interested. Okay, this is the guts of the operation. As you can see, I have spray foam here. This is used to be a window. Oh, maybe you can't see me. All right, I've removed the interior wall that covers this area. You can see spray foam where this window used to be, the inside of the long piece. This frame here I will coat in Kills before everything's all said and done. And I'll probably insulate this entire area as well because it needs insulated, which will seal this area nice and tight. Just for clarity here, this area here is where you're definitely not metal filled poop bucket will go, but it's basically going to be a bucket. uh, so in here, this is the framing for the bus trim. Like this is the original bus trim, and I'm going to leave this here. I'll probably fill this with sealer to seal to this wood. If not sealer, just fill it with the weather stripping. I already have a strip in there, but just make sure that's sealed because you don't want any water penetrating. And I might need to take this off someday for maintenance or something. I might be over engineering everything, but it'd be nice to be able to take this off and not rip sealer off. So that's something to be decided by me. But whenever I was designing this, I just took uh, some brackets that I had, some 90-degree brackets, cut them up a little bit so they could fit between the frame of the floor and the wall here where my hand is, and mounted them to this long piece, drilled a couple temporary holes in the framing of the bus, mounted those, and then came up here and used the hinge bracket, this bracket right here, used to go right here. So I just screwed an extra hole to this and then screwed one temporary screw, and that held this in place to be able to better design where my hinges need to go, uh, where the doors would sit and everything. And as you could see from me opening the bottom door, is it's pretty tight. And I would rather it be tight than loose, you know. So I'm pretty much fine with that. You got to give it a little push when you close it. I don't really care. um, Bottom frame, top frame, hinges. Uh, yeah, so this top piece here is probably the most awkward piece to the bus. This frame here. So it's a 2x4, a 1x4, and then 1x4 is cut in half. And this is so I can put a piece of wood up here, screw basically flat to everything, and not have a weird bow in my wall. But you could fill all that up with insulation, as I probably will, and it'll look nice and flush. So that's the end of the video. Let's drop some comments if you think I missed something or you need clarity on something. I'm just trying to do these videos to catch back up with where I'm already at, and do like more of a blog type YouTube channel, not really like a capturing of memories like this is. So anyways, if you like the video, hit like, blah, blah, blah. Catch you next time.